Read. As soon as you finish with the explanation, beta, one of you will start reading, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Start reading now.
Okay. Explanation. The shape of a solid object changes when a force is applied to it, whether it's temporarily or permanently. Example. Crushing a can changes the shape.
How? Permanent.
Permanent.
Exactly. It changes the shape permanently. So that was solid, isn't it? What do you say? The can was a solid. The can is a solid. When I hammer it, so obviously the shape of the can changes. I cannot get it back to its original shape because it is changed permanently. Whereas in the case of rubber band, I stretch it for a while and I leave it, it comes back to its original position or a shape. But if I pull it more, it may either reshape or it may break. So it again depends upon the force that you are applying. Okay, beta? Then only we can say it is temporary or permanent. It's just a figure. I want to show you. This what is it that is shown over here, beta? What is this? It's a badminton racket, right? And you got a shuttlecock, isn't it? So the shuttlecock comes on the racket and you hit it. Where does it go? Down. Or it goes up. The way you hit it, it goes down or up. So the direction changes. The direction of the shuttlecock changes. Similarly, in the beginning, look over here. The ball comes from here to here on his knee and then he hits it. When he hits it, this becomes the new direction of the motion. The ball starts rolling like this. See, it is rolling and then it reaches on the ground. Did you understand?
Yes.
So when you apply force, the direction changes. Okay, read this.
An object will move faster when a force is applied. It moves in the same direction as the applied force.
Now look over here. The ball is already moving. The ball is already moving. This is the direction of motion. It is already moving. And this girl, see, she's kicking the ball with her foot. So this is the direction of force. You agree? The ball is already
Yes.
moving. See, the ball is already moving. It is in motion already. And the girl, she kicks the ball. So the ball moves faster. But the direction of motion is the same. You got my point?
Yes.
What is misconception?
A
As soon
force
as
is
I
moved.
finish, just a moment, beta. As soon as I finish with explanation, you have to start reading.
Okay, ma'am.
Understand that? Oh, okay, thank you.
A force is needed to keep an object moving with a constant speed.
So fine. Over here, you can see two bicyclists. You can see a motorcyclist. They are moving on their vehicle with a constant speed. Do you agree with me? They're moving in when a person is cycling, that person has to pedal. And the motorcyclist either he has to accelerate or give a brake to change the motion. Now, what is explanation? Please read.
You do not need forces to move at a steady speed, but if you keep the same speed yet change direction, like a moon around a planet, then you have a force acting on you anyway.
Understood? What does that mean? If you're going in a straight path, then you don't need force. You can automatically go with a steady speed. But if this is Earth, the moon is moving around the Earth, then centripetal force. What force is applied on it? Better? Excuse me. What force is applied on it? Centripetal force. Okay? Because there's a gravitational force between the moon and the Earth, which is keeping it on a orbit in a circular path around the planet Earth. Because if there's no force applied on it, the moon can leave its orbit and fly away. What do you say? Because of certain pull, because of the attractive force, it is moving in its orbit. Had not been there any force, do you think it would stay in the orbit? It would fly away in the space. What do you say? All the objects which you observe in the space or on the earth, it's all having a force that is called as gravitational force. Okay? What do you see over here? The ball is moving. This is the direction of force, the direction of motion. But now the goalkeeper is stopping the ball. Then the direction of the force becomes opposite. Understood, girls?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, beta. Now please read. So to stop a ball or stop a motion, you have to apply force in the opposite direction. Okay? Read.
Okay. A stationary ball will move when it is kicked, moves in the same direction as the applied force.
You saw
The
this?
moving ball,
Moves in the same, just a moment, beta. Moves in the same direction as the applied force. The force was this, kick. Direction of motion is the same. Got it? Now see the next. What is written
the
over here?
moving ball will stop when an equal force is applied in the opposite direction of its motion.
So now you understood what is more relevant over here? It is the opposite direction. So what is more important here? Opposite direction. The same force is applied over here. See this. Opposite force but with the same intensity. That means the force is same. But the direction is opposite. Then and then only the ball will stop. Next.
Force is a property of an object. An object has force, and when it runs out of force, it stops moving.
Any object needs force for its motion. When it is moving, when any object is moving, we say it has got force. And when it runs out of force, that means there is no force, it stops. In case of bicycle, you got cycle at home, isn't it? In case of bicycle, you are pedaling it. You stop pedaling, after some time the cycle will stop. Yes? In the car and other vehicles, the force is petrol or diesel. We don't have that. Do you think your car and other vehicle will work? Will it work better? Yes? It will stop. Your car will not move if it does
Yeah.
not have force. And force is equal to, what is the force over here? Petrol or diesel. Okay? Read. What is Newton's first law?
An object at rest or in motion will remain in that state unless an external force is applied to the object.
This is an object A. It is on the table. Until unless I push it or pull it, it will remain as such. So that push and pull is external force. Got me? What I said just now? If I push it, it will move. If I pull it, it will move. It will leave its original position. Now it is at rest. It is not moving. It is at rest. So it will remain as rest. The object will remain at rest till we apply an external force on it. That is Newton's first law. Or if the body is moving, if the body is moving already, will keep moving until and unless I apply a force. I stop it. It will not come to a stop. Okay?
Yes.
Hello? So how we stop a car? By applying brakes. So what is that brake? It is a force. The brake is a force, isn't it? So when we apply brake, the car comes to a stop, but it goes back. You know that. Whenever any brake is applied, we tend to fall backwards. So that is the opposite force. Okay? Then only the vehicle will stop because the force has to be from the opposite direction. Now we see one by one the types of forces. Please read it.
There are two main types of forces. They are contact forces, non-contact forces. Contact forces are forces exerted by one object on another when they are in contact with each other. Contact forces are of two types. They are muscular force, force of friction.
Fine. Now, what are the types of forces? Namely, their contact and non-contact forces. As the word suggests, the name suggests contact force, that means they are touching each other. One object can be or can be said that it is in contact force with the other when they are in contact with each other. That means they are touching each other. What are those forces? Muscular force and force of friction. Okay? Hello? Understood? Muscular force or force of friction.
Yes,
Non-contact forces.
ma'am, I do.
Okay, beta?
Not to force, not to content forcing. Other forcing acting by the one objective on the other. Why? While with the, without any contact with each other. Not content forces. All of the three type type of there are man forcing,
Magnetic force. Yes, you're doing good, beta. Their magnetic force.
electric,
Electrostatic.
electric
Electrostatic. Static.
force, captain force.
Gravitational force. Good. Okay. Now we'll see non-contact. Thank you, beta. Now we'll see non-contact forces. These objects are not in touch with each other. They are not in contact with each other. They are magnetic. Do you think we get magnet near the, or we touch the magnet with the iron and then only it works? No. If we get the magnet close to any iron material, it attracts, isn't it? So these are non-contact forces. Electrostatic forces. Now, in winter, whenever you are wearing any silk clothes or woolen clothes, you get a sort of current. Do you get the current? And if you're putting on the pullover at night time, you can hear a crackling sound and also some sorts of sparks coming out from your uh, clothes, winter clothes. Have you ever observed this? These are electrostatic forces. You can do this also, like you rub the comb on your hair and bring it to pieces of paper, it will attract it. So these are all electrostatic forces. And the last one is gravitational force, that you know already, that we are being, all the objects which are observed in the universe are being pulled by the earth by the means of gravitational force. This is the force that is keeping us intact on the earth. Now let's do contact forces first, one by one. The first one is muscular force. Yes, Beta.
Muscular force is the force exerted by the muscles of our body. We use muscular force for our various activities. Animals like bullocks, horses, camels, donkeys, elephants also use muscular force to perform various tasks.
Okay. As the name suggests, muscular force, the force exerted by the muscles of our body. So, what are the activities that we use this muscular force for? Exercising, for doing household activities, for writing, for picking. Yes. So, for so many, for working, so many activities, we use the muscles of our body. Animals also, for example, bullocks. Bullocks means ox. Horses, camels, donkeys, elephants, they are even using muscular force for performing various activities. Got it? This is how you can see. These are all muscular force. You're in sports, you're cycling, you're sprinting. It's a hurdle race, I think. And this is a bullock cart, not horse cart. They're drawing the cart, camel cart, you can see. So, these here, the muscular force is used by humans as well as animals. See what is force of friction?
Force of
Please read.
friction. Force of friction is the force which opposes the motion of an object over a surface. Example, a ball rolling on ground gradually slows down and comes to rest due to force of friction. If we stop pedaling a bicycle, it gradually slows down and comes to a stop due to force of friction.
So what is force of friction? It is a force which stops the object from moving. That is called force of friction. So it's a motion which is opposite in the direction of the motion of any object. Over here you see a ball was rolling and then it comes to a halt. It's a golf ball. What is it? It's a golf ball. So after rolling for some time, it comes to a standstill. Why? Because of the force of friction. In this case also, you can see this. If we stop pedaling a bicycle, automatically the cycle slows down and it comes to a stop after some time due to force of friction. The force of friction, where do you observe? It is between the tube and the floor. It is between the surface and the grass surface. Do you understand? This is the contact where it is touching. So the energy is lost by the ball to the ground. And when energy is lost, I told you already, it comes to stop. In the same case, energy is lost to the ground by the cycle tube. After some time, because of rubbing of the cycle tube and the floor or the ground, the energy is lost from the cycle tube to the ground. And when it loses all the energy, it comes to a stop. Understood, beta? Do you understand?
Yes.
See, what are the advantages of friction? Please read.
Advantages enables people to run and walk without falling or slipping. Enables us to write on paper. Enables a car to stop when
Enable.
the
It's not
brakes.
enable. Hello, beta. It is
Yes,
enable. It is not
yes.
unable. It is enable.
Okay, ma'am. Enables a car to stop when the brakes are applied. Enables an object to be stationary. Music instruments can produce sound, allows vehicles to travel on the road without slipping.
Okay. Now, the advantages of friction. This is the only way that we can run and walk without falling or slipping. Otherwise, we will keep on falling. We keep on slipping. It will be very accidental. We can write on paper due to friction, and that helps a car to stop when we apply brakes. Any object which is one place is due to friction. The musical instruments which produces varieties of sounds are working on friction. Vehicles can travel on road without getting into any accident, without slip. If a vehicle slips, it will get into an accident. So it allows the vehicle to travel on the road safely. What are the factors that affect friction? First is, how is the surface? Is it smooth or is it rough? And on it, what is moving? That is the weight of an object. Whether the object is small or the object is big. On these two factors, friction depends. Please read. Read.
Ways to reduce use ball. Ma'am, from friction
Ball
I
bearing.
read on
Yeah, from friction actually you should read it.
friction occurs when two surfaces are moving in contact with each other.
How many
Ways,
surfaces are required? Two surfaces. How
yes,
many surfaces? Two. One is
two
which is
surfaces.
moving on the other. Okay, one is moving on the other. The ball is moving on the ground. So two objects, one is ball, other one is ground. So one is moving and one is stationary. Next, ways to
Ways
reduce.
to reduce use ball bearing, use wheel and axle, use lubricants such as
Lubricants.
grease,
Lubricant.
lubricants such as grease or oil, use air cushion, use roller bearing.
Okay, fine. You can see
Disadvantages.
rollers. Just a moment. Let me finish it, beta. Can you
Okay,
see
ma'am.
these rollers over here? Can you see these rollers? Yes. Can you see the rollers over here? So it becomes easy. Our work becomes easy. Okay. So you can see ball bearing. Ball bearings are like this, and you can get small balls like this. It's in machine and tools. In certain tools you get these. Why? Why is it there? Why the ball bearing? To reduce the friction. Okay. So the machine works very nicely. Use wheel and axle. For example, in old days, how you used to use the pulley. Remember, for drawing the water from the well. To draw the water from the well, out of the well, we would be using the wheel and axle method, the pulley method. Also, if your machine or if your fan is making a lot of sound or a lot of noise, what you do? You apply certain grease. So sound starts, so the sound stops actually. So what sort of lubricants do we use? We use either grease or oil. Even during winter or during monsoon, the hinges of the door it starts creaking. Whenever you open the door, it makes a very irritating sound. To stop it, what we should do? We should either apply uh, grease or oil onto the hinges. Then you can use the air cushion also to reduce friction and roller bearing. Roller bearing is the uh, you have the trolleys with the rollers. You have the baggages or the luggage with the rollers. Heavy things which you really cannot either push or pull. If it has got rollers, then the work becomes very easy. Let's see the disadvantages. Yes,
Disadvantages: slows down a moving object, causes the surfaces of objects to wear out, causes less effectiveness of moving machine, causes heating, causes sound pollution, increases cost when worn out objects need to be replaced with new ones.
thank you. So the disadvantage, we have already seen the advantages, now we'll see disadvantages one by one. The first disadvantage is what if the body is moving. After some time it will stop on its own. Why did it come to stop? Because it has used all its energy. It doesn't have any force left in it. So it comes to a stop. Second, if just look at a shoe. Under the shoe, it will be worn out because you are using the shoe so often. So when you just turn it back, you can see even some holes under the shoe. Have you ever observed that? More you use the shoe, there will be lots of holes. So that is called as wearing out. If a machine is moving, you don't get that much of effectiveness. Whenever there is a friction, the machine attempts and touch a machine, we find if you touch a fan after it is moving for an hour or so, you find that it is hot. It is hot, so it causes heating. So energy is lost by creating heat. It also causes sound pollution. When it rubs with another surface or another metal, there is a sound produced and it is a pollution. And also, if any object which is worn out, it has become old, used up, to replace with new ones, it is very expensive. It costs a lot. These are the disadvantages of friction. Any problem with it?
No, ma'am.
Anything which is rubbing is friction, okay? Read.
Rubbing against a moving object.
Okay. Where do you get friction? I told you it's a contact force. If whenever there is a rubbing of any object, that is, we say that friction is settled. Say,
Occurs when two surfaces are moving in a contact with each other.
you got it? Whenever two surfaces are in contact, we will say the friction forces started. And after some time, it will come to a stop. I explain you. You have to explain to me. What is it? What is it? What can you make out of it? What is shown over here? Hello? You can't? This is a matchbox. Girls, this is a matchbox. So where is the
Yes.
friction? The matchstick is rubbing on the edge of the matchbox. The friction, with the friction, it gets ignited. It gets lit. Okay? So a spark makes the phosphor. What is at the tip of the match stick? It is phosphorus, red phosphorus, which is explosive, which is highly inflammable, so it catches fire by the friction. Okay? Next is, see, you're rubbing the glass. This is also friction. Now we come to non-contact forces. Yes. What is non-contact?
Non-contact forces. Magnetic force. Magnetic force is the force exerted by magnets. Example: force of attraction and repulsion between two magnets. Force exerted by a magnet on a piece of iron or steel.
Magnetic force is the force applied by magnets on the object. So who is important? Magnet is important. It's not the other way around. The object is not exerting force on magnet, but it is the magnet which is exerting force on the other objects. And what are those other objects? They are iron or steel. Okay? We also know that the like poles, magnet has got two poles, north and south. If I get another magnet and keep the same pole together, what will happen? Repulsion. It will go back. It will go to this side. And if I have north south, north south, then this will come together. It will attract. It will attract. You understood?
Yes.
Just show you. It is north, it is south, it is attraction. It is again south, it is north, again attraction. Both are same. Both are same. But if it is north and north, then it is going away. You see this? Going away. This repulsion. Okay? So like poles, they repel, unlike poles, they attract. So N repel and S attract. See over here. The magnet is attracting the nails. Yes? Any problem?
No, ma'am.
Now we come to electrostatic force. Show this.
Electro Electrostatic force. Electrostatic force is the force exerted by a charged body on another charged or uncharged body. Example: a plastic straw charged by rubbing with paper attracts a suspended plastic straw. A plastic straw charged by rubbing with paper repels a suspended plastic charge by rubbing with paper.
Electrostatic force, static and electricity. The combination of electricity and static is electrostatic force. What is this force? It is always given by a charged body. And how the body gets charged? When you rub it. Simple. How the body gets charged, beta? If someone passes by, suddenly you get a current. Do you ever? Hello? Do you ever feel this? A current? Girls? So, this
Hello,
force
ma'am.
is, yes, beta? I asked you something, so I did not get the answer, so I continued. So, this electrostatic force is a force. Either it is given by a charged body on the other body, which could be charged or uncharged. Anything it could be. Example, you take a plastic straw, the straw with which you are having juice. Take that straw and rub with paper. What are you doing? You are rubbing with the paper. So your straw becomes magnetic. What it does, if at all there are a group of plastic straws, it will start attracting those plastic straws. What happened actually? When we rub the plastic straw, it gets charged. Got my point? It gets charged. And the charge it has and the suspended plastic means a plastic is suspended, what will happen? It will repel. It will go away. It will not go towards the plastic, but it will repel. In this case, the comb, it's a plastic comb. You rub it with a silk or with a paper or on your hair. What happens? We are charging the comb. You need
Yes.
certain pieces of paper. And when you bring that charged body, that is the comb, near uncharged body. See, we have not charged the paper. It is just we have torn it. That's it. It's not been charged. We have not rubbed anything. So those pieces of paper will be attracted by the foam. How come? Why? Because by rubbing the foam, we have charged it. Yes. The third one.
Gravitational force. Gravitational force is the force all objects. It pulls all objects towards the earth. Example, a coin or pen falls down when it slips off your hand. A
Hello? Hello? Girls, are you there?
yes, ma'am.
Yes. What happened? I could not hear you. A coin or
Hello.
pen falls down. Please read it again, if possible. Please read
Ma'am,
it.
I had read till plant.
No, read it again. I could not hear you, beta. That's why
Okay, ma'am.
I'm asking you to read it.
A coin or pen falls down when it slips off your hand. A ball thrown upward falls down. Leaves and fruits fall to the ground when they get detached from the plant. Water in rivers flow downwards.
Fine. So, what is this gravitational force? Who is applying it? Earth. Earth is applying onto all the objects which is present in the universe. What it does? Function is it pulls all the objects towards the earth. That is the function of the earth, of the gravitational force. Let's take a coin or pen, allow them to slip, allow them to fall. That is gravitational force. But it is coming down. It is due to gravitational force. Okay? Throw the ball upward. Will it keep on going up or will it come down after some time? Yes, the ball will come down after some time due to gravity. Also, the leaves and fruits which fall on the ground is also working on gravity. Water in river, it is flowing downwards, is also due to gravity. See over here. This is ball. Ball, the ball goes up and then it comes down. Got it? So why does it
Yeah.
come down? Due to gravity. Then leaves falling down. It is not flying up in the sky. It is coming down, gravity. Rain falling down, gravity. Okay? See, water coming down, that is also gravity. Yeah. Water coming down. Got my point?
Yes.
Yes.
A paratrooper, see, he's having a parachute. He's a paratrooper. He's also coming down. He doesn't remain in the sky forever. Does he remain in the sky forever? Yes? Or should he, or does he come down? He comes down after some time, isn't it? Why?
Yes.
Due to gravity. Why? Due to gravity. We will work on a new aspect altogether. We have done with the force. Now we are going to work on pressure, which depends on force and area. So this we will take up next. I think we are already taken 2 minutes extra of the session. So we come to a close, and I pray that you're understanding nicely. I just hope that you are understanding nicely.
Yes.
You are understanding. Fine, thank God. At least I got some answer. And if at all you find that somewhere, sometime, when you again go through it and you think that it's not clear, you can ask me anytime. Okay? Fine. Bye,
Yes,
beta.
ma'am.
Bye, and have a wonderful day.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, beta.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, beta.